All right. I think we're set. Boy, I don't know if you noticed, but like the settings just on like the camera are like these borders here. You see? I had to reset the whole thing. I don't know what happened. It's not like I changed anything from the previous one, but tried to set it up and yeah, the camera just wasn't registering at all. And of course, everything I tried just didn't work. So I had to restart the computer, and my dumbass did that with all my fucking tabs open, and that's why it took 15 minutes to literally restart everything. So I'm gonna give it just a moment um, for everyone to get in. Um, just gonna give it a minute or two in case you wanted to draft with me and you've been waiting. Let's just give it a minute or two. And oh, now I've got a whole other application that's trying to get into my field of vision. Oh, that's right. I was exporting the tight end video, and yeah, that all that progress is lost. It's gonna have to re-export overnight. So yeah, that'll be definitely posted in the morning. But we are coming back. Let me. Oh Jesus, I've got a pinwheel of death on my screen. Okay, okay. I think we're set now. Let's get over here. Dev is here. I think Jason is here. We've got a few viewers. I think we're ready to go. I think if you want to draft with me, you guys can hop in. We're gonna hop into another Flock Community Contest, $10 entry. I think you all know the deal. If you want to hop in, click the button right now. I'm on a 5-second delay. I will join you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vámonos, muchachos. Anybody that wants to get in, there's 2 more spots. 2 more spots. So we'll be underway very shortly. It's now full. Gonna start soon. But Jason's maxed. No worries, man. You'll watch later. Oh, thank God. I finally get a decent pick. Pick 5. Let's go. We're in line for a Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown, unless a receiver falls to us. Who knows? Maybe we get CMC falling to pick 5. And yes, Jason, I saw your Venmo. You are in, my friend. And oh, I also need to update my frame here. Oh, if you guys can all tell, it's also smaller. Yeah, I'm just all fucked up. Got to reset all these parameters. But let's crop this. There we go. On the right. There we go. That might be too much. Whoa, no. Not 2,500, 250. That's what I wanted. Whoa, that's a little too big. we're fixing it on the fly, everyone. We're getting it done. But okay. I think that's what I'm looking for. And yes, Jason, you are in the subscriber league. Thank you very much. That league is full, barring 2 teams that want to join. But oh boy, at pick 5, we're gonna get Ja'Marr Chase. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is anybody in this draft with me? I believe Dev, you are at pick 12. Pretty sure that's you, Dev. Otherwise, not totally sure I recognize anybody else's username. But Jonathan, can't wait for the subscriber league as well. I wish more leagues did auction drafts. I would love to do one on the live stream, like a mock auction, but there's no real way to do it, you know? Like I can try to get on ESPN. I feel like that's kind of like the better platform, but I swear every time I've tried to do a mock to prepare, within 15 minutes, within like 10, 12 picks, everyone is on auto. Like there's not more than 3 out of 10, 2 of 12 people that are like actually doing it. So it's just pointless. Like, it's good to check it out for the sake of like prices and like checking out the ADP beforehand, but it's not like actually something that's viable for the sake of the live stream. Wow, Cooper Cup pick 13. Holy shit. Dev, you are convinced that Puka's missing time. Whoa. Cooper Cup at 13. Damn. I mean, you are at the turn, you are at pick 12. The reaches are justified. That is you. But wow, a lot of confidence in Cooper Cup there. But you also get the Arizona Rams bring back stack. And you are getting your guys. Indeed. Jason says I could do a $30 RT Sports Auction League for a stream. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Is that best ball as well? Or am I going to have to set the lineup every week? If I have to set the lineup, I'm not doing it. As long as it's auction, as long as it's best ball, I'll do it on the stream. But I've got way too much during the season to focus on that. We could go Saquon here. I don't take Saquon very often. Could also go Jalen Waddle. A bit of an injury. Jamar gets Denver, so that's not worth pairing up. You know what? Let's do it. I have very little Saquon this year. I am underweight Saquon. Season long, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not so inclined to do it. I got the channel that takes up a lot of my time. I've got only 2 leagues, but the subscriber league I really care about. And sometimes I'm like scrambling at the last minute because I'm like, shit, I got to set my lineup and I forgot. So I don't think I want to do a season-long league, especially at $30. If it was like $5, then maybe I'd consider it because it's not like a huge investment. But yeah, if it's season-long, you need to put in like a decent buy-in for it to be worth it for everyone long-term. That's why best ball's so ideal. There's just no time commitment at all. And yeah. Getting your message, Jason, in the group chat for the subscriber league. Very excited about that. Can't wait. We're 4 weeks away, everybody. So close. Right. The board is far more interesting. I'm all scrambled in the head at the moment. Like, what happened with the stream settings? You saw me have to rearrange them at the top here. I'm just all over the place mentally, but we're doing well for the sake of the team. We got Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall at pick 4. It is an interesting room, that's for sure. We'll review all the teams after I make this pick, but so far, some wild ones. The question is, do we go Brandon Ayuk here? That is the question. That's the... Oh, fuck. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to take him. Because even if he goes to Pittsburgh, there's high upside. Oh, my God, it's going to suck. But you know what? There's still the chance that he stays in San Francisco. At least he's not going to the Patriots. At least that's not happening. But yeah, I'm pot committed to Ayuk this year. To get him in round 3 is far later than I've ever taken him. I'm someone who sometimes takes him as high as pick 13. Occasionally I'll take Ayuk at the turn. At that 1-2 turn. Not anymore. Not until I know for a fact he's staying and signs a contract in San Francisco. But this late, I think it's worth it. At this point, he's definitely more appealing to me than Diggs and Pittman. I was considering Kyren Williams there for sure, but I had Barkley. And unlike the last draft we did about 2 hours ago, nobody is like heavily committed to running back so far. Like when I went Pacheco ETN at 36, 37, there were two teams with two running backs. One of them had three running backs, and we were getting like kind of a tier break at the position there. Now it's not that worth it. But whoever's going to get Kyren Williams here is getting a fucking steal. I kind of regret passing on Kyren. But running back is not as highly coveted in this room. But Dev thinks he's a great pick, but he'll probably still fall more. Yeah, he probably keeps moving down past pick 30 until we know what's going to happen. But wow, Team 10 gets Kyren Williams at 34. What a steal. Damn, so close to Dev getting a good running back there. I mean, Pacheco's still pretty good if you want running back. But yeah, 2 picks away from Kyren. Bummer. That's a bummer. Anyways, let's just take a look at some of these rosters. Team 1 with CeeDee Lamb, Devon Achane, Devontae Smith. I love pairing Devontae with CeeDee Lamb because they play each other in Week 17. That's always nice. Team 2 with CMC, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Not bad. Team 3, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf. Double Miami receiver. You do see that a decent amount, though. Team 4, reached on Brees, reached on Malik Neighbors, goes DJ Moore. High prices to pay. I'm fine with DJ Moore in round 3, but wow. High confidence in Brees, I understand, but usually I don't pass on Jamar, St. Brown, or Jefferson to take him. Not a fan of Malik. Not a fan of Neighbors this year. But Team 6 with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, Sam Laporta, double Detroit. Team 7 with Jefferson, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, double Houston. Team 8 with Bijan, Debo Samuel, Michael Pittman. Good value on Debo at the moment. Debo's usually going higher. Team 9, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Hurts. You usually can get Hurts at pick 40 in the 4th round. So a little bit of a reach there. I definitely think Kyren might have been a better pick, but stacking him with A.J. Brown, you want to get your guy. That's all right. Team 10 goes Puka, Drake London. Excellent value on Kyren, as I mentioned, and Josh Allen. Team 11, Garrett Wilson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. So double Baltimore. A lot of stacks so far. And then Dev, you have Marvin Harrison, Cooper Kupp. You went Amari Cooper and Josh Jacobs. Given the uncertainty with Amari, I think he would be losing out on a lot of volume if he were to be traded to San Francisco. Personally, I would rather go with T. Higgins over Amari. But there's always some high upside. There's also the scenario where he does go to San Francisco, Debo gets hurt, and now he's like a top 10 wide receiver. So Cooper's a wild card at the moment. I understand. And then you also went with Jacobs. Not bad. But Tank Dell falls to pick 44. I don't understand that. I'm 100% going to take Tank Dell here over George Pickens. Tempting to go with Mahomes, but not going to do it. Going to hope I get a good tight end coming back around. Probably don't. Probably get sniped, but Tank Dell pick 44. Way better pick in my view than Terry McLaurin. I have him ranked above Zay Flowers, above T. Higgins, above Diggs, above Neighbors, above Pittman, above Amari. I love this value on Tank Dell. Smashing that for sure. I'm surprised Team 7 didn't just commit to Tank Dell at 42. Just triple Houston. They go T. Higgins instead. I was kind of hoping for T. Higgins, but I'll take Tank Dell. I'm not going to complain about that. But so many people sleeping on Kyren still. I agree with you. Definitely way too late in this draft. I kind of wish I took him at pick 29, knowing I got Tank Dell at 44. But we go Ayuk. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this guy's probably going to snipe me on Kincaid. If not, that's 100% my pick. Please take Christian Kirk. Make the mistake. Take Christian Kirk. Gonna time out. Damn it. Of course. I mean, at this point, Kirk is falling, but I just don't want him. If Jacobs was here, I'd probably go Jacobs, but we have Saquon already. I'm going to pass on James Cook. I'm going to go elite quarterback. I'm going to take Anthony Richardson. The potential to finish as the QB1 at the end of the year. I wanted Kincaid, didn't get him. But there's a scenario that Richardson is the league-winning QB this season. If he can stay healthy, he's giving you 20-plus fantasy points every week. That's what he did last year when healthy. Richardson sometimes falls to round 6, but here in round 5, much happier to take Richardson than Christian Kirk. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe my Brian Thomas take is like completely incorrect. But I can't really talk myself into these round 5 receivers above some of the other options. Like, if you can get Mahomes, Lamar, or any of those 3 tight ends in the top 5 in round 5, I think it's way, way better. Josh Jacobs also better than these receivers. James Cook, arguably better. Might be worth it, but Richardson, not going to let you down, barring an injury. But then we see Chris Godwin, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen, James Cook, Kyle Pitts, Hollywood Brown, Kenneth Walker, and Reflect the Sun loves Team 10. I mean, that Kyron value is just so valuable. Yeah, it's hard not to like Team 10. They go Puka. Granted, Puka's hurt at the moment. We'll see how that goes. But then Drake London, Kyron Williams, Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts. Bit of a rainbow strategy, but with 2 receivers to start, it's definitely justified. But maybe they could have gotten Pitts coming back around. They do have London. They go for the double Falcon stack. Rashad White as well. So very balanced for Team 10. Dev goes with Kenneth Walker, Calvin Ridley. Sometimes, like, since Hopkins got hurt, I started to talk myself into Ridley. Now I'm kind of, like, still very tepid, not excited about Ridley. But obviously, with some potential missed games for Hopkins, Ridley should be better. But it's hard to, like, feel insanely good about it. Yes, very good value on Tank. Maybe I should have passed on Richardson with the potential to go with CJ Stroud, but we'll see. Kamara gets taken. Could get Xavier Worthy at a value here, but not my favorite selection. My highest ranked would be Ladd McConkey, but with the Herbert injury, that's not something I want to be like doubling down on at the moment. I think I'm going to go with Rome. Give me Odunze. I just can't talk myself out of Rome Odunze. He's so talented. But Dev thinks Ridley was underpriced before the injury. If that's how you feel, then get your guy. That's what you've been doing this whole draft. With that Cooper Kupp investment, that's what you're doing. You kind of reached on Kenneth Walker a little bit, but at pick 12, always justified. You reached on Jacobs, but there's no chance you were getting him back around. Yeah, you are calling your shots in this draft, man. Good for you. Ayuk did do well last year, and I think he's definitely getting more volume this season, no matter what happens. Team 1 goes with my highly coveted Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas combo. Just not a Pacheco guy. If you're not, then you're not. I am, but you do you, pal. Question here is, do I take CJ Stroud? Now I'm kind of regretting the Anthony Richardson pick. But I could get Joe Burrow coming back around, or I could just avoid elite QB and set myself up with better depth. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go Dave Montgomery. Both my top 2 running backs here will have a week 5 bye. Not ideal, but if I take CJ Stroud, I have a double quarterback week 14 bye, and that's definitely worse. So I'm going to go with Dave Montgomery. Tempting to go CJ Stroud, but there's no fucking way I want 3 quarterbacks if I take 2 in the first 7 rounds. And if I have a bye in week 14, I'm going to feel compelled to do that. So I take Dave Montgomery here, pick 77. Pretty good value. I think he falls 4 picks. Yeah, ADP of 73. Stroud goes to the team with Nico and Stephon Diggs, so good for them. Yeah, Team 10 went with Pitts. Not my favorite pick. But so far, my team, pretty solid. We get Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Brandon Ayuk, hoping for the best there. Great value on Tank Dell. Safety net with Richardson at QB. Rome Odunze, I think someone that could be a league winner at the end of the year. Dave Montgomery as the RB2. Let's see what happens. But you like it after the last 2 picks? Yeah, the depth is working out. Need a tight end soon, though. Evan Ingram falling like crazy. That's kind of... I've never seen Evan Ingram fall to round 8. I've seen him fall to the end of round 7, but never past the turn. It's possible he falls back down to 89. Team 8 is the next team without a tight end. So far, he keeps falling. Holy shit. Dev, I know you're calling your shots here, but like passing on Ingram for Cortland Sutton, I don't get it. That's just how I feel. But Sutton's so touchdown dependent. He wasn't even top 30 last year with 10 touchdowns. With Ingram on the board, I don't know if I could do that. And Team 9 says enough is enough. Takes Evan Ingram 88 with Kelsey on the team. Don't blame it all. Wow. David Njoku 89. Holy shit. What a difference. But that means I could get buried at tight end. I do not want Brock Bowers. Fuck. Stevenson falls 10 picks here. Not my favorite pick. I'd rather go Jaylen Warren. I could also go Joe Burrow. I'm going to take Jaylen Warren. I'm just not in love with Stevenson's upside. Good value on Ramondre, but decent value on Jaylen Warren as well. Higher upside with Warren. We're also kind of betting a little bit on the Steelers offense with this Brandon Ayuk selection. So that's my logic there. That is the tiebreaker. I need to update my rankings because last I checked, No, I'm very well aware. I ranked Jalen Warren as RB30. The more I think about it, that's way too fucking low. Jalen Warren should be closer to like 25. Ramondre's like a floor play, but I already have Dave Montgomery. Why do I want another floor play? Let's swing for the fence. If Najee gets hurt, Jalen Warren's going to be fucking fantastic. Even if he's not, Arthur Smith's going to send him so much volume in the passing game. Like Bijan had like 85, 90 targets last year. We could see similar numbers for Jalen Warren. I think Warren is a smash pick in round 8. If you can get Najee in round 8 as well, I think you're living. Ramondre's fine, but I think I still prefer Jalen Warren. But as long as this team skips on Burrow, probably won't. But I think I'm going to take Burrow. Nope, I will not be taking Burrow. Never mind. There are some injuries at the moment, like very minor injuries to Christian Watson and Jaden Reed. They're both downplaying them, but I kind of need a receiver. I'm about to get fucking buried at tight end, but same applies with receiver. Let's go Romeo Doubs. Really good connection, friendship with Jordan Love. And I've noticed this has happened to me on like 5 different teams. I'll grab Rome Odunze and Romeo Doubs on the same team. Like almost the same letters in their name, but I am not sure what you're saying, Teddy. Not totally sure, but yes, massive reach on Nick Chubb. Pick 102. Y'all know I'm a Jerome Ford guy. I'm on the Jerome Ford train. Big fan of Nick Chubb historically, one of my favorite players to root for. Has helped me win some championships in the past. Always a fan of his talent, but I'm just not convinced he is the $6 million man this season. I'm worried about that knee. But Team 6, aka B.A. Simpkins, I think that's how you pronounce it, wants Nick Chubb. But Dev says Courtland Sutton's betting props are close to Debo's. I would bet the under on Sutton, but if that's who you want, pal, that's who you want. You get Zach Moss at pick 108. Good value, and then you go Goddard. I was really hoping Goddard would fall back around. Shit. This is a 3 tight end team for sure. Team 4 snipes me on Burrow. That's a little disappointing. But this is going to be a 2 QB, 5 running back, 3 tight end. No, it's, 8 wide receiver. A 2-5-8-3 build is what we're shooting for with this roster. Pollard and Spears falling. Pollard a full 10 picks. Spears 5 picks. Lockett also falling. I might go Dontavian. You've seen me double up on Packers receivers in the past. And I like taking these cheaper options. I take the more expensive guys plenty, but I also really like taking the cheaper ones. There's a world where all four are equally as valuable over the course of the season. And here in best ball, you don't have to decide which one to start. It's going to be a massive headache in redraft knowing which Packers receiver to start on a week-to-week basis. But maybe I go Caleb Williams with Rome. That's also very tempting here. But wide receivers highly coveted. There's a chance Caleb falls back around. Let's go Dontavian Wicks. Let's gamble. If Caleb's back at 125, I will take Caleb. But here, I'm going to go with Dontavian. Caleb goes immediately after. So, nope. No fucking chance. Oh, the team has DJ Moore, of course. Yeah, I should have looked at that. But I have Anthony Richardson. It's okay. So we see Caleb, Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Brandon Cooks, Gus Edwards. And I don't think I'm going to reach on Freiermuth. I could like heavily commit to this Steelers offense though. Maybe I should. Assume that Ayuk goes to Pittsburgh and we target Justin Fields later. As of late, I've been trying to take Justin Fields a lot. Just because he's so fucking cheap, there's fewer teams that have him. And if he works out, he's going to be phenomenal at his value. Like when you're deciding between Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, and Justin Fields, if Fields is the starter, it's like so good. But under the logic that Ayuk actually goes to Pittsburgh, Freiermuth should fall considerably. So I'm going to pass. But was definitely trying to talk myself into it. Almost took him. Let's pass. Let's go Jerome Ford. Snipe Team 6, who has Nick Chubb. You are fully committed to Nick Chubb now. You will not be getting both Browns running backs. And maybe he's upset. Maybe he's not. But I love me Jerome Ford this year. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. And with this build, like, I am pretty fucking stacked at running back. I've got high upside, high floors all the way around. This is 100% just a 5 running back build. Guaranteed. We've got 6 receivers already. So we're going to be taking 3 late round tight ends. One of them is probably going to be Jelani Woods, given I have Richardson. I could have definitely talked myself into A.D. Mitchell there at 125 if available, but Team 4 takes him. At the moment, Josh Downs is dealing with a month-long injury. Josh Downs is supposed to miss like 4 to 6 weeks. So A.D. Mitchell starting to move a little bit back up the board. Michael Pittman, also someone who maybe gains a little value. Where does Pittman go in this draft? Pick 32. Yeah, Pittman's a little more interesting now with Downs hurt. That's a big reason why I was kind of fading Pittman. The fact that Downs is legit. Mitchell's there now. Big upgrade over Alec Pierce. And Richardson is not going to be as pass heavy as Minshew was last season. I feel like that light is a little intense. Let's dim it a little bit. That feels like a sweet spot. Yeah, that feels good. Maybe a little more. I feel like that's probably right where it was before I adjusted it. Anyways, after Jerome Ford, we see Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Dalton Schultz, Jahan Dotson, Eckler, Jacoby Myers, Jerry Jeudy, Rico Dowdle, Xavier Legette. Legette is behind Mingo on the depth chart. So at the moment, Legette is not looking like a good pick. But Mike Williams, activated off the puff list, should feel a little more confident in Mike Williams at the moment. Demario Douglas, pick 137. Charbonnet goes, and it works out for me. I get Freiermuth coming back around. Freiermuth should be falling, but now he's fell 10 picks, 11 picks actually. And given I am a little bit pot committed to Pittsburgh, let's fucking go. Let's go with Freiermuth and hope that Arthur Smith makes him just a target machine, even if Ayuk is there. But Ryan Santoro asking, in a vacuum, do you prefer Debo or Josh Jacobs in a dynasty win now roster? I think with the current state of the Niners with Brandon Ayuk, I think I prefer Debo straight up. Straight up, I think I'd rather go Debo, but it is close. Debo could have a top 6 season at the position. Josh Jacobs could always do that as well. He did it a couple years ago, but with all of the weapons in Green Bay, I think it's very close between the two, but I'd rather go Debo today. Is a bit of a speculation though. So if you want to just play it a little safer, go Jacobs, because there's a world that Ayuk stays. There's also a world that they add Amari Cooper, which, you know, would also impact Debo a little bit as well, but they have very different skill sets. I think I'd give a narrow edge to Debo Samuel. Very slight edge to Debo. Hope that helps, Ryan. But I expect to be sniped here on Cole Kmet. I'm considering Kmet, but probably not the end of the world. I could just go Pearsall. I'll probably go Pearsall because I'm not in love with Cole Kmet. I don't have Caleb Williams, so it's not like completely necessary to take the Bears tight end. If I had Caleb, I'd probably have to take him. But here, you know, we have Ayuk. It's kind of a insurance policy when he does get traded, assuming that happens. Let's go Ricky Pearsall. A player who should be moving up the board at the moment. I mean, once Christian McCaffrey referred to Ayuk as like a former teammate, it's kind of like, maybe that's the nail in the coffin for any hope that Ayuk would stay. But yeah, let's go Pearsall. Let's hope it works out. But VVS Z in full PPR with 1 QB, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex, would you endorse Malik Neighbors on the 2-3 turn? In full PPR, 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, and 1 flex. I don't think I would. Actually, no, in full PPR. Probably. If it's a 10-team league, I think you could still probably get a better option. But if it's a 12-team league, then yeah, I'll take him. I think that's fine. Especially if you are literally at the turn, like if you have pick 1. Because it's kind of like when you have pick 12. I view it as you get your guy. You can reach however much you want. Anyone in the next 20 picks that won't make it back is fair game. So if that's who you want, it is not a pick I like am going to feel great about. But especially in full PPR, there's so much volume headed for Neighbors. Like, he probably maxes out at like 130, 135 targets. But if you told me Neighbors finished the season with 150 plus targets next season, I wouldn't be completely shocked. And that would just be so valuable in full PPR. That would be so fucking good. But I worry about his catch percentage this season. I worry about some of the efficiency, especially in the touchdown department. If it's not a house call from 40 plus yards out, I worry that Neighbors doesn't score more than like 4 touchdowns next season. Just because it's the Giants, just because it's Daniel Jones, but pick 2 and it's a 12-teamer. I think that's fine. If that's who you really want, I say it's 100% justified. You can go for it. I wouldn't look at you crazy for doing it. But this team takes Malik Neighbors at 21. I think that was a reach. To take him at 26, it's not terrible, especially in full PPR. It's more justified, and there's probably going to be more receivers that come off the board before pick 26 anyways. So, yeah, go ahead and do it. If that's who you're targeting, if that's who you want, if that's who you believe in, I think it's fine. But my gut tells me Neighbors could disappoint this season. That's my guts talking. My gut could be wrong. It's been wrong a few times in the past. It's been right several times, but I could be incorrect just as easily. Full PPR, though, definitely worth it. The Simpkins goes Rodgers. 5 picks past ADP for Hunter Henry. I'm going to take Noah Fant. I need 3 tight ends on this team. Fant has some upside. He will have a role. And now it opens the door for a Geno Smith stack in the next round. Geno has usually been falling. Fant has been moving up the board. He did exit practice today. That's what the news blurb said. But I think it'll be all right. At this stage in the draft, all these tight ends are kind of similar. All just hoping for the best. They're all streamers. And I'm taking 3 regardless, so it's fine. It's justified. But this is the team so far. We're loaded at running back. I love this running back room. But damn it, Geno goes. That's all right. But Richardson's my quarterback. I have Saquon Barkley, Dave Montgomery, Jaylen Warren, and Jerome Ford at RB. Really love these running backs. Also, one little bonus about the Jerome Ford selection. I have the double bye in week 5 for my top 2 running backs. And you know Jerome Ford is going to be much better at the beginning of the season than he will once Chubb is healthy. So, love that. Receiver, I got Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, Tank Dell, Rome Odunze, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Ricky Pearsall. Tight end, I got Freiermuth and Fant. But you're welcome, VVS. You're welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Conklin goes. So yeah, team 3, Dexter Ski over there was thinking about the Geno Fant combo as well. Doesn't work out for me, but I'm not in love with any of these picks here. So we're pot committed to the Steelers. At the very least with Freiermuth and Warren, highly targeted players, but especially if Ayuk goes there, let's do it. Let's go with the Justin Fields stack. And now we have 2 rushing quarterbacks on this team. I think Fields is going to be the starter the majority of the season. I think that's going to happen. So we're done at QB. We're going with Richardson and Fields, calling it a day. We need one more running back. It can be anyone. We're not counting on this 5th running back very much. We need one more tight end. And I think I have 3 more picks. Yeah, we need one more receiver. One of each. One of these 3 positions. Running back, wide receiver, tight end. The rest of the way. But Richardson with Fields. are the QBs. High upside with the rushing viability. My cat wants some attention. Can you hear? She's right here. Want to say hi? Leia says hi, everyone. She wants you all to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's put this here. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. 8 likes as well. Appreciate y'all for likes. Eldon Z wants to know, would I take a shot on Fields in redraft leagues? Absolutely as well. Like, if he's not the guy you're going to know right away, I think he could be the guy as soon as week 1, if not like maybe week 4 even. Like, let's pull up the schedule for the Steelers. I have them projected for losing like a lot of games. I would update that if Fields was the starter right away, though. Are we on the clock? No, not yet. Okay, so they get Atlanta, Denver, the Chargers, and the Colts. If Russell Wilson loses week 2 at Denver, it's Fields' job the rest of the season. If they lose to the Broncos, which they could definitely do, Sean Payton could give him nightmares. There is a very quick path to Russell Wilson getting benched if he is the starter. I would hold on to Justin Fields for 5 weeks. I think at the latest it would be that Dallas game. But here we are. I'm not going to go Roman Wilson. That does not where I want to go. Mitchell with a hamstring injury, not great. We could go Malachi Corley. We went Jalen Tolbert the last draft. Might go Tolbert. Gonna go Tolbert. That's my wide receiver. Very narrow target share in Dallas. Some positive reviews at camp. Braylon Allen. You could talk me into Braylon Allen. There's some upside for Allen, for sure. I'm a big believer in Breece Hall. I think he's likely going to stay healthy, but there should be a role. Top backup on first depth chart. You know what? Let's do it, Steven. Let's go Braylon Allen. Assuming he's available. I don't need like insane consistent production from this RB5 given the room that I already have. And if Allen does pay off, he offers league winning upside if there is an injury to Breece Hall. So yeah, a little bit late for me to take him with that last pick, but don't matter. We're all right. I'm hoping that Jelani Woods will come back around to me. Braylon Allen gets taken. So, yeah. Should have probably gone with him faster. It's okay. Tyrone Tracy would be an 18th rounder. Huh. Sometimes. It's okay. We don't need to cry. But yeah, that would be a good pick for this team. I'm pretty underweight on Braylon Allen. I'm kind of just committing to Breece Hall. Not really like hedging my bets. But because of the hamstring injury, I'm not going to go Elijah Mitchell. I think I'm just going to go Jelani Woods for the sake of the stack and then grab one of these running backs later on. Could go Jordan Mason. You know, I like Dylan Labby. We could also go Jamal Williams later on. Let's go Jelani Woods here just because that's who I know for a fact I want. And looks like we hit 10 likes. I'm going to do my third entry for this tournament right after the next pick. We'll do the third one. We'll stay live streaming. So this is the team so far. We got Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields. We need one more running back, but so far we have Saquon, Dave Montgomery, Jaylen Warren, and Jerome Ford. At wide receiver, I got Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, Tank Dell, Rome Odunze, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Tolbert. And I love the Las Vegas running back, Dylan Labby. Personally, I love him. But there is some... I've never taken Jamal Williams this offseason, and with Kendre Miller not doing well, I could talk myself into Jamal. But let me know who you guys want me to take. It's between Roshan, Deneric Prince, Will Shipley, Tank Bigsby, Dylan Labby, Jordan Mason, Jamal Williams. Let's put them in order of my preference. I think I'd go Jordan Mason just for the exposure. Then you guys know I love Dylan Labby. Will Shipley would be a handcuff to Barkley, so maybe I don't need him. Generic Prince is interesting. Jamal. Roshan's highly drafted, so maybe not. And then we'll go Tank Bigsby. Looks like there's a vote for KC, Mason, Roshan. 2 votes for Mason, so Mason's at the top. We'll see what happens. And E111, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. Really appreciate it, man. We're going to do another draft, and looks like Dev will be hopping in to the next one as well. Exciting. Exciting stuff. But we won't take Roshan for you, E. We won't go Roshan. Is he even available? No, Roshan's still on the board. Oh, and it looks like we got 3 subscribers during this live stream. We hit 3,010 tonight. Appreciate everyone for subscribing. See some new faces in the chat. Really appreciate y'all. Maybe the late night streams are where it's at. Maybe I should be doing more of these. Dev wants Roshan. E does not want Roshan. This guy's definitely going running back, so we'll see what happens. But I think I'm going to go Jordan Mason. We got 2 votes for Mason. And if Jordan Mason is the handcuff to McCaffrey that you need this year, I'm going to be so pissed in all of my Isaac Guerendo and Elijah Mitchell shares. I'm at about 8% Elijah Mitchell. I'm still at like 20% Guerendo because I got so fucking gung-ho about it early in like June, in May. But that's it for this team. Let's head over to the lobby. Let's do one more. If you guys want to join me, we are maxing out my entries in the Flock Community Contest. I have one more entry left, and I'll hit the button very soon. You can hit it right now. I'm on a 5-6 second delay, so I'll be joining in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 5 spots open. 5 spots left. I'm hoping Guerendo is the league winner, but yeah, now it's time to be mixing in Jordan Mason for sure. Also, with an early injury to McCaffrey, my logic was sound. Invest in a handcuff in the San Francisco backfield. Maybe Matt Breida is also someone to consider. The fact that they brought in Matt Breida is a really good sign that you should be drafting a handcuff Niners running back. And Mitchell's on the final year of his contract. Maybe he gets traded. Jordan Mason looked almost just as good as him last season. There's definitely a world where Jordan Mason is worth it. I talked myself into Guerendo back at the draft, especially when they didn't have him listed on Underdog. You couldn't draft him before the draft. I was like very upset about it, but I was like so excited about Guerendo because of his athletic profile. Like, yeah, the reports are that he's not ready. He's not quite familiar enough with like pass protection and stuff, so it might not work out. But like, look at this fucking page, man. Like, this was so tempting. 6 foot, 221 pounds. Like, that's a goal line back if I've ever seen one, with 4.33 speed, 100th percentile weight adjusted speed score. He's so fast. Burst score, 98th percentile, 99th in terms of 40-yard dash time. But yeah, it's not looking too good. He got hurt. The camp reports early on were not great, so I can't wait for him to be good to go either. But okay, here we are. It's tempting to go with maybe a running back. I've taken Justin Jefferson a few times. I think we took him like twice on the live stream the other day. So I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown just for the sake of mixing it up. I haven't taken St. Brown in like a while, personally. So I'll take him just one spot above Justin Jefferson, and that's going to prevent me from talking myself into taking Sam Darnold again in round 18. I already have a team with Darnold. So, yeah. St. Brown is so safe. He only had one game last year with less than 14 fantasy points. He is a can't-miss pick. That's for sure. So, I will be right back. I'm going to give my cat a little snack because she's been asking for it. I will be right back in like 30 seconds. Here we go. Yeah, you can't go wrong with St. Brown. Only way it doesn't work is if he gets hurt. Same applies with Justin Jefferson in my mind, but I'm trying to put more eggs in different baskets, especially in round one. I'm a little overweight, like just barely. I'm at 9% Jefferson. I'm maybe like at 7% St. Brown right now. So that's the only reason I'm doing it. My rankings for the season do have Jefferson one spot above St. Brown, though. I have both above Jamar Chase, however. In best ball, I love Chase. Chase can give you 50 points any given week. But for the sake of like floor consistency, I think Jefferson and St. Brown are a little bit better. Is this Jamar you're referring to? Jamar did deal with injuries last year, that's for sure. Who's my favorite round 2 pick? If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you Brandon Ayuk. Now that's a fucking bad call. Round 2, I mean, it's kind of looking like Debo's a really good pick. I do love Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is really good. I like Taylor a lot. Yeah, laugh at my pain. It's funny. I've actually been fading Saquon. I prefer Kyron straight up. But I don't think you can go wrong with Marvin Harrison. Like, if you are at pick 13, taking Marvin feels like a lock. But now Debo's pretty good. Debo, Taylor, and Nico Collins. Probably my 3 favorites, with Marvin Harrison as a solid 4th. Waddle's pretty interesting. So is Devontae Smith, but more for like contingent value. Steven is at pick 6. So your Sparkles 99? Nah, just kidding. Okay. Nico falls a little bit. Let's go Nico Collins. Let's take Nico. Yeah, I do think with the contract extension, Nico Collins is in line to be the #1 Texans receiver. We took Tank Dell in the last draft at a value, but I do think Nico is worthy of a round 2 selection. I do think he's the best guy in Houston, and he was just like so good from a spike week standpoint last season. In best ball, I really like Nico Collins. But Sparkles 99, double running back, Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley. Interesting strategy. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Let's pull up Nico real quick. Nico is just so explosive. This is his game log. A game with 7 for 146 and a touchdown, 7 for 168 and 2 touchdowns, 4 for 80, 3 for 54 and a touchdown, 7 for 104 and a touchdown, 9 for 191 and a touchdown. Final game of the season, week 18, 9 for 195 and a touchdown. Nico can explode. Granted, some of those games were without Tank Dell. Dell is healthy now. We all know Diggs is there. But the contract extension for Nico is why I'm still convinced he's the guy of the 3 to be the most valuable. But would have loved to go Kyren Williams here. Do not get him. Do I just go Malik Neighbors? Nah, I agree with you, Steven. I'm going to go DK. I have DK ranked the highest. Let's go DK. Stay true to my rankings and fade Malik Neighbors. What's the site you're using for David Montgomery's salary? It's overthecap.com. Over the Cap. I'll pull it up right now. Definitely a reliable website for salaries. OTC is the logo. Overthecap.com. Great reference page. I do not pay for the subscription. I'm not that committed to finding out all of those details. But I'm pretty sure if you do pay for it, you can get insights into like their whatchamacallits, fucking incentives. So like, especially at the end of the year when it's like, oh, how many more catches does this player need to hit like $1 million bonus on their contract? You know, that type of stuff. That's something to factor in here, but they give you pretty good information. I also could be wrong about that. It might be listed somewhere else, but yeah, I don't get past the paywall. But basic stats and figures, very good for research purposes. You get the overall contract value broken down over APY, how much it is per season. Also, their rank at the position. Like Nico Collins is the 10th highest paid receiver going into next season. That is all I need to know to justify this round 2 pick. So, yeah, definitely a good site to check out, especially when you're like whittling down to tiebreakers. Absolutely a good place to go. So this is the squad so far. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf. High volume, high floor, High spike week potential from these three. Would have loved Kyren Williams, but he goes to team 1, paired up with CMC. We do not get Kyren Williams. I pass on Derrick Henry and Malik Neighbors in favor for Metcalf. How much is Diggs paid? That's something I want to know. Diggs is paid 22.5, so big investment, but Nico Collins is paid more than Stephon Diggs. Diggs is wide receiver 16 in terms of contract. Nico is wide receiver 10 in terms of overall salary per year. Stroud, Goff, Seattle quarterback. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going to try to get 2 of them. I think what I'm going to do is gamble that I can get Stroud at pick 77. Because as long as the teams with Diggs and Tank Dell pass on him at 64, 65, I think I can probably get Stroud to come back around in the 7th. No team on this side of the board has a Texans receiver. So if they pass in round 6, D. Randy and Adam Pruitt, if they pass, I will take CJ Stroud in round 7. Mixon, we'll see if he falls. I'm not going to take Mixon at 53, but I'd be willing to take him at 68. We'll see what happens. Oh, wow, this is interesting. Flowers falling like crazy. We're pick 44, and Flowers is still on the board. Is there something going on with Flowers that I don't know about? Okay, let's go Flowers. I kind of wanted to go with tight end there because I was planning to go with like Josh Jacobs at 53, but we get really good value on Flowers. There's a minute chance. Nah, it's definitely not going to happen. Yeah, this team goes Lamar. That may have been not the best pick, but at a value, what, like 7 picks past ADP? Yeah. Hard to get Flowers this late, so I'm never going to regret being highly invested in a receiver. Maybe this is a 0 running back build. We'll see what happens. Jacobs goes, pick 46. Mess up the plan with value pick. It's okay. It wasn't like a set in stone plan. How you doing, Fantasy Dog? Thanks for joining. I still feel good about this team, man. Having 4 high-end receivers. I have all 4 ranked inside my top 23. So for the value, I think it's worth grabbing Flowers. And yeah, not going to get an elite tight end, but I didn't expect to get one. I didn't want to reach on one when I could get a 7-pick value on Flowers. But I didn't really want to be pigeonholed into Lamar anyways because of our CJ Stroud plan, and shit, this is a little bit rough. I don't want Terry. I don't want Hollywood. I don't want Keenan. I think I'm going to go James Cook. Not great. But yeah, I think that's who I'm going to take here. Not the best, but I have him in the same tier as Josh Jacobs. That's who I was kind of hoping to get at 53. We miss out on tight end, but I definitely prefer James Cook over these receivers. Kamara, maybe. We'll see. But now I'm in a position where I'm probably going to get a good value at running back at 68. If Kamara is the highest one rated on the board, I might take him. But I'm hoping to get like a Kenneth Walker, and then that would be really good for a Seattle combo later on. I'd be very happy with Walker. Joe Mixon gets taken. If Rashad falls, I'm also comfortable with Rashad. But I'm targeting Walker. Do I believe in Kamara this season? I do, Vic. I do. I think he has 1 year left. The reason I believe in him so much, I mean, not like, oh, he's top 10. I haven't ranked as 17. But I think for the price, he is justified because of the passing game volume. Last year, he was the number one running back in targets and receptions per game. He played only 13. Remember, he was suspended. He also did not play in week 18. So he did miss some time, but he was more involved in the passing game than Breece Hall was. And he literally caught like 6 catches per game. It was like insane. So in full PPR, Kamara probably is a top 10 running back, but that check down viability from Derek Carr this season is just going to be so valuable. And the fact that Kendre Miller got hurt, the fact that you're looking at Jamal Williams as his top backup, I do think Kamara is viable this season. So, yeah. I am a believer in Kamara. I do have Walker ranked higher, though. I have Walker at 15 in my ranks. Kamara 17. Mixon, I believe, is 16. And one of the underrated aspects of Walker's value is if Charbonnet goes down, Walker will be the stud RB1. Like everyone talks about, oh, Charbonnet's a league winner if Walker goes down, but it also applies in reverse order. And Walker, we've seen it happen before 2 years ago when he was a rookie. When he was the stud RB, he was giving you 16 fantasy points per game. He was in the Jonathan Taylor category. Taylor gave you 16.5 points per game last season when healthy. Walker would be that type of guy. And Walker gets taken, so not great. Not ideal. But here is where my back is against the wall. Do I just take Stroud here because I have Nico? Or do I take Kamara knowing that running backs are really thin? I'm going to go Kamara. I think I'm going to go Kamara just because I feel like it's pretty much guaranteed that I miss out on Kamara or Montgomery coming back around. This team has one running back. The next team has one running back. Team 2 has no running backs, and there's not many left to go around. So I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. We took Montgomery in the last draft. And now I have 2 running backs I feel competitive with, and I think I can still get Stroud coming back around. Even if I miss out on Stroud, I'm still lined up for a good stack with like Jared Goff. I can also go with Geno Smith later. You know I wanted Walker, but we don't get him. So I'm just trying to play keep away and not get sniped on RB at pick 77. Thank you, E. I hope it's a good pick. If the offense can do as good as they are planning, I think Walker stays healthy. I think he will, yeah, especially with the, touch split. Like, they're not trying to give him a ton of work. He did get injured a little bit last season, but he only missed, 3 games. So, Stroud, of course, goes at pick 72. Maybe I made the wrong pick. But Jacob Dorner goes Stroud unstacked right at ADP. Kind of a bummer. Yeah, my assumption that these running backs would fly off the board did not happen. So the gamble does not pay off. James Conner gets taken. With the studs at receiver I have, I'm more inclined to go Evan Ingram here than anybody else. I could also go JSN. JSN would open up that Geno Smith combo with DK Metcalf. Yeah, it's not ideal, not fun, but it's not the end of the world either. Evan Ingram goes. So my rankings have Brian Thomas ranked higher, but I'm like really overweight on Brian Thomas. And I'm not going to reach for a running back here. We have decent guys. I'm going to go JSN. And now we are pretty committed to the Geno Smith stack later on. We got 2 Seattle receivers. We got St. Brown, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, James Cook, Alvin Kamara, and JSN. Steven wanted us to go JSN. Or was it Jan? Yeah, we'll take JSN. As a Charger fan, I wanted JSN to fall 1 pick in the draft last year so fucking bad. I was like fucking giddy when he was there at 20, and then I realized like, oh wait, no. The Seahawks are just going to take him. And of course they did. He went pick 20 last year in the draft, and the Chargers took fucking Quentin Johnston. Oh my God. Terrible pick. He had the athletic profile of a first rounder. There were like no big size receivers last season in the draft at receiver, but like, yeah, we were 1 pick away. Oh, what could have been, Dev? What could have been? But no, we cannot have nice things. Yeah, I'm sure you were, Jonathan. I'm sure you were. And that's why Tom Telesco got fired. Maybe Jim Harbaugh was like, nah, get him the fuck out of here anyways, but I'm sure they were like so fucking livid with Telesco. Especially when Jordan Addison goes immediately after, followed by Zay Flowers, and guys like Tank Dell in round 3, Puka Nacua in round 5 are popping off for fucking like record-setting seasons. And we have fucking No Hands McGee, QJ. God, just a wasted pick. He can't even beat out DJ Chark. Like, what the fuck, man? Fucking bullshit. Yeah, they found a way. They fucking figured it out. Once JSN was off the board, I wanted them to go Kincaid. I wanted them to take Dalton Kincaid. I was done with Gerald Everett. I wanted Dalton Kincaid. And they couldn't even do that. Fucking bullshit, man. Bull to the shit. Very committed to JSN. Yeah, we all have regrets. Anyone who invested in QJ had regrets. Well, if Ferguson falls 1 pick, nah, Sparkles snipes me. Fucking Sparkles. Could go Zamir. Could go Brooks. Could go Mostert. I'm going to go Jonathan Brooks. Let's swing for the fence. Let's take Brooks. Love his talent. You wanted me to go White. Apologies, E. Yeah. I'm happy with McConkey, but McConkey is just like a floor play. And I noticed on that like Giants draft board, McConkey had like some injury concerns, which is kind of fair. He did miss some time last year. Was it last year or the year before? He's missed some time. McConkey's fine, but yeah. I remember I played golf with my best friend back in like April of last year, or like maybe it was March, like before the draft. And I remember I didn't post it on the channel. I wish I did. I wish I had video evidence to prove it. I didn't do enough draft prep last season on the channel, but I remember being like, I don't see it with Quentin Johnston. Meanwhile, when you look at the stats for Tank Dell, it's like, holy shit, this guy's gonna fucking pop off. And yeah, that's what fucking happened. Is this gonna be another 3 tight end team? How do I feel about JD5? Is that Jaden Daniels? I think that's Jaden Daniels. Confirm if that's Jaden Daniels before I answer this, please. Sutton Falls. I kind of want to go with Daniels here, but I need tight end. I'm going to go David Njoku because I know for a fact I'm setting myself up for a Jared Goff, Geno Smith stack. I do like Jaden Daniels a lot. I think there's the potential that he can put up like 1,000 rushing yards this season. Like, he was so prolific last year. I view it as a like heavy Robert Griffin III situation. He is a little bit bigger in terms of overall height, but his weight at 210, I don't know if I like believe that. His frame is fucking like skinny. Like, I'm really worried he gets hurt, and that's why I view him a lot like Robert Griffin III, who also was a Washington quarterback. But really good stats last season. 40 touchdowns, only 4 picks, only 3 picks the year before. 1,133 yards, 710, 885 the previous 2 seasons. He's going to be so good in fantasy. It probably would have been a good pick there, but I like need tight end pretty desperately. I don't want to be in the situation where I'm taking Pat Freiermuth again as my tight end 1. And my next pick lines up with Dallas Goedert very closely, but I don't want to pass on Goff in exchange for Goddard with that next pick. So that's why I go David Njoku here instead. But yeah, you could definitely tell me that Jaden Daniels should be drafted like 4 rounds earlier. Like, honestly, once Kyler's off the board, you can probably talk yourself into drafting Jaden Daniels. He's going to be really good this season. I do think the Commanders are going to look good on offense. With Cliff Kingsbury, I think they're going to be a very quick team, very fast pace, a lot of plays, and Jaden has the arm to get it done. If they had Brandon Ayuk, that'd be fucking awesome for Jaden Daniels. But even with Terry McLaurin, I still think Jahan Dotson can maybe revitalize his career. I think last year with Sam Howell was really the problem there. But yeah, I think Daniels is going to be good. You think he's way better than Griffin? I mean, Robert Griffin III, if he didn't get hurt, I mean, I feel like he could have kept them viable. He took them to the playoffs as a rookie. Everyone raved about Andrew Luck's rookie season, but RG3 did take the Commanders to the playoffs in year 1. But I think Jaden Daniels is better than RG3. He's a better passer than Lamar. But from a like running standpoint, from that type of style, as well as like the injury concerns, That's where I think there's some RG3 notes. Like I forget who in the chat, and like maybe a couple months ago, mentioned like ragdoll tackles for Jaden Daniels, and like that's what the tape kind of looks like sometimes. Like his head snaps back sometimes when he gets hit. He does not run out of bounds enough. That's my concern. Better than Lamar years from now, only if like Lamar gets like a devastating injury. I don't think he's better than Lamar. Like I would kind of be shocked if Jaden Daniels won an MVP. I could definitely still see Lamar winning another MVP. You know, I don't think that's out of the question for Lamar Jackson. As Lamar gets worse over time, they could even out, be kind of similar, but barring like a really good weapon in the passing game, then I think from a rushing standpoint, Lamar is always going to be a little bit more interesting, but it's possible. It's possible he's better than Lamar in like, 3 years. Especially in fantasy, that's 100% possible. He could be a league winner this year, even as a rookie. Says he has an awareness you look for. I mean, I hope so. I really hope he stays healthy. Love the talent. Thought he was the right pick at number 2 overall. He won the Heisman, like why would you not take him? My big concern though is that like other offensive coordinators, if he does have success with Cliff Kingsbury, Kingsbury could be poached for a coaching job somewhere else. Like he's been a coach before, he's qualified at least from a resume standpoint. If Kingsbury wants to leave, it could really kind of mess up Jaden Daniels' like development because you just have to gamble on who they're gonna bring in to replace him being a good offensive coordinator. Like finding one can sometimes be hard. So I think he's gonna be good this year. I'm a little bit worried about long term in the offensive coordinator situation, but I am not gonna gamble. I'm just gonna take my stack. I want to ensure this Amon-Ra St. Brown Jared Goff pairing. So while I could go with a receiver, I already have 5. I don't think I need Cooks, Dontavian, or Jacoby. I'm going to go Jared Goff, who I do have ranked above Caleb Williams. Stacks up with my roster. Just a safe pick. Never going to regret this. Stacking him up with St. Brown. Definitely the move. And now I'm not going to be like upset at 125 when Team 4, Matt's crib, snipes me, most likely. More likely than not, I get sniped on Goff with the next pick. So Steven wanted Wicks. E says Jaden Daniels will for sure be better than Lamar. It's possible. Definitely possible. Also has Golf. Jared Goff in 2 out of 3. Goff is so safe. Gets 13, if not, I might be mistaken, it might be 14 of his games this year in a dome. He is the like definition of a dome QB. He's so much better in a dome than out in the weather. He's fine out in the weather, but like his fantasy stats are so fucking good in dome games. 14 dome games. Deb is pushing back on the Lamar slander. 2-time MVP. If he was able to win in the playoffs, I don't think anyone would have anything bad to say about Lamar. But his win percentage is like 75-80%. I don't think they just want him to see him win. I think they're a really good team. I actually have them in the NFC Championship game again. I keep like flipping back and forth between Detroit and the Rams as my NFC Super Bowl team. I am going to post my Super Bowl picks like a week before the season starts, and it's between the Lions and the Rams for me. They play week 1. I think they play again in the NFC Championship. But We could definitely go Blake Corum, but in the same tier, I think Zach Charbonnet works for our team build. Another Seattle investment. We missed out on Walker. Actually, no, I'm going to go AD Mitchell. Kind of a last-second pivot there. Might regret it, but I think I can get one of my running back targets coming back around. I'm hopeful. I might get pissed I made that choice. But I almost went with Rico Dowdle there as well. If you asked me 2 days ago, there's no fucking chance I would have gone AD Mitchell, but with the injury to Josh Downs, Mitchell has some high upside. Mitchell looks way better in round 11 today than he did yesterday with Josh Downs about to miss 6 weeks. Maybe it's only 4. Maybe it's not going to impact him, but valuable reps in training camp. We don't know what he's going to look like coming back from the injury. He was also injured last season. Josh Downs did not look anywhere near the same after he got hurt last year. Like, I bought into Josh Downs. I started ranking him like top 40 when he started to play well. And then he got hurt. And when he came back, I was a believer that he could do it again. And he never actually missed time. But if you look at the snap percentage, in week 9, this is where the injury happened. He had 1 catch for 10 yards. The next week, he played on 25% of snaps. He had 2 catches for 40 yards. In this week 9, week 10 stretch here, he only played 12 and 14 snaps. So this is where the injury happened. Before that, he was looking good. Like these previous 4 games, really solid numbers, an average of 5.8 catches for 79 yards per game with 2 touchdowns. Like, that's double digits for fantasy. That's like almost 13 points a game. Off the top of my head, I might be like a little bit off on that, but that sounds right to me. About 13 points per game. And then after he like was healthier, he started playing 68% of the snaps, and like he was terrible. Not another touchdown. His average was 3.6 catches for 35 yards. Josh Downs was shit after he got hurt. So for him to get hurt right now is a really bad sign. He's also like really small. Like he's not like puny. He's an NFL player, but like compared to AD Mitchell, like, yeah, size is a factor here. I want to say he's like 5'9". Come on, load. Kind of slow. Sometimes player profile is really slow. Yeah, he's 5'9", 171. He's fast, runs a 4.48, but he's just a slot receiver. Meanwhile, let's pull up Adonai. I would love if AD Mitchell really paid off, because I was drafting him before the NFL draft quite a bit. AD Mitchell, 6'2", 205, is faster, ran a 4.34 at the combine. And he fell for like character concerns, but I felt like he was better than Jalen Polk. And I was high on Jalen Polk. Damn it, I get sniped on Charbonnet. Okay. I think I'm going to go Ty Chandler here. I need some early season production with no Jonathan Brooks early on. And I think with the injury to TJ Hawkinson, the suspension looming for Jordan Addison, as well as all of the injury concerns with Aaron Jones, I've actually drafted Ty Chandler a lot. I haven't done it on the live stream in a while, but I am like overweight on Ty Chandler. But Looks like you guys in the chat do like AD Mitchell. He doesn't play in the slot. I don't think he'll take those reps from him missing downs. I mean, yeah, but those targets have to go somewhere. You know, like he's definitely above Alec Pierce in my mind as well. But yeah, it's just a matter of, will Richardson stay healthy? Will he get him the ball at a high rate? What's going to happen there? But yeah, I gambled that Charbonnet or Dowdle would come back around. They do not. Chuba Hubbard, wow, reached on at 133 by Busy BIT. That's kind of a bummer. I thought Chuba would still be on the board here, but he is not. So glad I took Chandler. Might just play more 11 personnel. It's possible. I would see Pittman moving into the slot more if Downs does miss like considerable amount of time, and Mitchell being the X. I'm really glad I have Njoku on this team. Just because if I was looking at like desperation Musgrave, Cole Kmet here, I'd be so fucking pissed. I think I'm going to take Pearsall again. Shoulder injury resurfaces. That's not good. But like, he has so much upside once that Ayuk trade goes down. Could maybe go Algier or J.K. Dobbins, but nah, I'm just going to take Pearsall. It's pretty much impossible to find like as much upside at receiver the rest of the way than Pearsall at the moment. The Niners offense is just so fucking good. He'll work out. Pearsall is someone I actually really wanted to see on the Colts. I feel like I already mentioned this either earlier today or very recently. I'll say it again. I really wanted to see Pearsall get drafted where AD Mitchell got drafted and be reunited with Anthony Richardson. Let's pull up Pearsall's stats. Oh, I should have done this on Profiler. Why did I do it here? Anyways, yeah, so 2 years ago when Pearsall played with Richardson, he had 20 yards per catch. Only 33 catches, but for 661 yards, scored 5 touchdowns in 13 games. Last year, he was really good for Florida as well. 65 for 965 and 4 touchdowns. Also gets it done in the run game. So kind of a dual threat player. But yeah, I just wanted to see him reunited with Richardson. I thought that would have really helped Richardson's development. But for them to get Mitchell, not a bad pick either. And Pearsall is also like an elite athlete. I think Pearsall runs a 4.39. Sticky Ricky, best comp Emmanuel Sanders, 4.41. So a little bit slower than I just mentioned. Really good profile, good athlete. There's some tape on him. Like there's that one catch he made like one-handed and then he gets fucking popped by like 3 players and just bounces right back up. He's a stud. He's ready to go. Played for Herm Edwards at Arizona State with Jayden Daniels before going to Florida. 6'1", 189. Could maybe bulk up just a little bit more. Like we just pulled up AD Mitchell. He's 6'2", 205. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. These days, you don't need to be 200 plus pounds at receiver to play well. Just look at like Devontae Smith. But, yeah, just so much upside if they do indeed trade Ayuk, which looks so likely to happen at this point. Almost guaranteed. But Colts need a damn corner. Yeah, they could use one. Steven likes Ricky. I have a feeling about Greg Dortch and Josh Reynolds. Not special, but hardworking players who I think will have career years. I think they're fine picks in round 18. Like, you can take so many players that are going to give you zeros, even higher. Like, I mean, there's a world where Ricky Pearsall gives me a 0 here, but you could tell me that Dortch and Josh Reynolds are more valuable than Leggett, more valuable than Jermaine Burton, possibly, especially with Yoshivas possibly overtaking him. But we all know for a fact I'm in line for a Geno Smith selection. Will I gamble? I might take the gamble that these teams pass on him because they all have big investments at QB. Stafford goes, and Geno's the highest ranked quarterback. I might get sniped on Geno. I'm going to be fucking pissed if I get sniped on Geno. But Niners faithful. Got some Niner fans in here. How do you guys feel about Ayuk? Do you like want him to stay? At this point, you're probably fed up with him. You're probably like, get the fuck out of here. If Fant was still on the board, I'd probably consider him here, but watch Sparkle snipe me on Geno. He has Jalen Hurts, so maybe he leaves him alone. But nope, he goes Tyler Conklin. Definitely someone I would have taken with the next pick, but we are set up for this Seattle stack. And while I'm not the biggest fan of him either, Jonathan, you know how I stand. I think he's kind of average, but Ryan Grubb could make it all work. We're pot committed to the Seahawks. Let's go with Geno Smith. I've got 7 receivers already, so while Michael Wilson, Demarcus Robinson are kind of interesting, I don't think I need them that badly. Looks like both of you want him to stay. So do I. I think they kind of need him. At least long term. Maybe not this year, but I think as Debo ages, I think they'd be better off keeping Ayuk over Debo. Kittle's also getting older. Like, we could fast forward like 2 years, 3 years from now, and CMC could be like completely washed with like injuries. Like, he's getting older. You know, running backs can fall off a cliff at some point. Kittle's getting older and sometimes deals with injuries. I'm not hoping for it to happen, but it could. If you watched the Receiver documentary on Netflix, like, that was a very big reminder that Debo Samuel is also a bit injury prone. Like, that shoulder injury, if he gets tackled the wrong way, takes a helmet again to the shoulder, you know, he could be out for a month or two. But yeah. Boy, this is kind of rough. I kind of regret taking Geno there. I kind of wish I just gambled that he would come back because running back is fucking gross right now. Quarterback, I don't need it. Wide receiver, we don't need it either. Shit. Okay, I'm going to go Isaiah Likely. Not a fan of Otton. Jonnu Smith can barely even beat out Durham Smythe. Let's take a shot that Mark Andrews gets hurt again, or maybe just Likely has earned more of a role after how well he played last season. Let's take a shot on Likely. We have 2 of last year's league-winning tight ends at the end of the season. David Njoku and Isaiah Likely. I will be taking a 3rd tight end. That's for sure. But Ease says, I like Geno. Poor guy got knocked out in the locker room. Jaw broke. Oh, is that what happened? When he had that, like, imaging done? Oh no, that's when he was like first with the Jets. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he got punched by a teammate. No wonder it took him so long to get fucking set up in the league. If a teammate punches you and you're the quarterback, like you piss someone off. Did you like fuck his mom or something? Like holy shit. Fancy Dog says I got a lot of Debo. Go Ayuk. I am starting to regret my like massive investment in Ayuk a little bit, but hopefully it works out for me. Yeah, back when he played on the Jets, for a minute I thought he was talking about right now as well, but no, yeah, that was early on in his career. Fields still there, and you endorsed the likely pick. Yeah, I mean, for them to not use likely when he was so good, especially down the field last season, was like he was really impressive filling in for Andrews. I think there's going to be a lot more two tight end sets this year. And they moved off of OBJ. Bateman, I believe, got hurt recently. Like, there's a chance that Aguilar is their number 2 receiver. And why not just make Likely the number 3 target in that scenario? You know what I mean? Like, he looks so good. And we've seen the 2 tight end combo work in the past. Like, this could be a Gronk Hernandez, Aaron Hernandez situation. Hopefully, it does not go down the ugly path of Aaron Hernandez, of course, but a lot of talent there. There's a world where Likely really pays off. Like, we could get to week 2, and Isaiah Likely is one of the most coveted waiver wire pickups at tight end next season. 6'5", 245. Not the fastest player, 4.88 40. Best comp would be Harrison Bryant, but he was like prolific down the field last season. His numbers were really impressive. I edited this earlier today. You'll see it in tomorrow's video, but in the games where Andrews was hurt, Isaiah Likely averaged 12.1 points per game, which across all players last season would have ranked as tight end 1 on a per game basis. Isaiah Likely in that sample size was elite. Same applied with David Njoku. Njoku, when Flacco was the quarterback, averaged 15.6 points per game. That was obviously tight end 1, but even a smaller sample size than what we're looking at for Likely. But take Fields again. No, it's okay. He's definitely someone I was considering here, but we don't get him. It's all right. I already have 2 teams in this tournament with Fields. I need a third tight end, so when that happens, I don't like to take a third QB as well. Need running back. I might go Estime. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna take Estime. Kind of slow to get on the queue there. Kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I could definitely justify not needing an 8th receiver with this team. St. Brown, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, JSN, AD Mitchell, and Ricky Pearsall. I think I might need a 6th running back, though. When I have Brooks and I have these 2, well, I have the veteran Kamara, I might need a 6th running back. Braylon Allen also picked already. Kendry? No, I'm not going to take Kendry Miller. At this point, not going to do it. Oh, nice pickup, man. That worked out so well for you. Likely was awesome last year. I do think there's some high upside for Juwan Johnson, honestly. the fact that he's fallen this late and now he's been running a week ago, he should be off the pup list by like week 2 at the latest, I think. So I think I'm going to go Juwan Johnson here. Running back's not speaking to me. I think we're going to just take our chances with Goff and the Geno stack. I think I need a third tight end for sure. I'm going to go Juwan Johnson. I am not a Senat guy. I am not a Senat drafter. I've maybe taken him like twice in like, a ton of drafts. Until Ertz retires, I don't think Senat's going to work out. I think he's going to be great next season. If I have Jaden Daniels, I can kind of talk myself into it a little bit more. But I think Ertz is going to be a big headache early in the season. And while Senat offers value later on, I already have Likely. I'm already kind of gambling with a number 2 tight end. And I need some early season production. And I think once Juwan is healthy with no Michael Thomas, there's a world where Juwan Johnson is the number 3 target in the Saints offense behind Olave and Kamara. There's a chance he gets more targets than Rashid Shaheed. He was not terrible last year in 8 games without Michael Thomas. Like, if I recall from editing earlier today, the final 8 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, are the games where Michael Thomas was off the field. And Juwan scored 3 touchdowns in those games. I think he was giving you like 7 points per game. Off the top of my head, it was like 7.2 points per game in this stretch. He had 3 straight touchdowns once Jimmy Graham stopped scoring touchdowns. There's a world where he really works out. In week 17, he had 8 for 90 and a touchdown. They want him to work out. It's just a question of like, will he stay healthy? So not a ton of great options at this point. And I have talked myself back into Juwan over the last few weeks at this point in the draft. Yeah, I mean, it's more likely than not that Ertz does get injured again. But for the sake of like correlating early season, late season production, I think Likely probably is more likely, no pun intended, to be better at the end of the season. Same with Senat. And so that's why I'm not like trying to like double up on later end of season production with my third tight end. But yeah, here receivers kind of gross. I could go Khalif Raymond, but I don't think I will. Could always go Juwan Jennings now that Ayuk likely gets traded. Kind of an insurance policy if Pearsall doesn't work out. But I mentioned I kind of need a 6th running back, and Lauby's there. Jordan Mason is there. We took Mason last time. Bigsby's there. Will Shipley is there. Deneric Prince as well. It's probably between Juwan Jennings, 3rd and Juwan. Juwana. Quarterback, we do have Juwan Johnson and Alvin Kamara. So I could justify Derek Carr, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to stick with Goff and Geno. Not great, but I think it'll get the job done. And like, that's the thing about this tournament. I need to win this 12-team pod. I have to be 1 out of 12 to make the playoffs, and Derek Carr doesn't help me at all to do that. So there's no fucking chance I go with Derek Carr. Dortch going way earlier than on Yahoo. Is he like undrafted on Yahoo? Okay, so it's between Juwan and Dylan Laube. I think I'm going to stick with the receivers I have. I think I'm going to go with those 7. Going to pass on Jennings. I already have a shit ton of Jordan Mason. I mean, of Laube. I'm going to go with Jordan Mason again. We took him last time, but if Christian McCaffrey does miss time, you want a piece of this Niners backfield. And at the moment, Jordan Mason is the healthiest guy that they have. So, barring Matt Breida making a resurgence, let's go Jordan Mason here. Swing for the fence. That's going to be it for this this live stream. Just a reminder of the team. Here it is on the screen. We have Jared Goff, Geno Smith at QB. Running back, I got James Cook, Kamara, Jonathan Brooks, Ty Chandler, Estime, and Jordan Mason. Receiver, pretty good. I got St. Brown, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, JSN, AD Mitchell, and Pearsall. Tight end, David Njoku, Isaiah Likely, and Juwan Johnson. That's it for the squad. And Dev, you were drafting with us as well. So let's take a look at your squad. Richardson and Caleb, good QBs. Are they stacked up? You got DJ Moore stacked up. You do not have Cole Kmet. There's no problem there. But you took Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Zach Moss, high upside. I like the running backs. You also got Jalen Wright, Damian Pierce. Not sure if you like critically need Pierce, but definitely later on it's not a bad investment. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Wilson, DeMarcus Robinson. Tight end, Luke Musgrave, Colby Parkinson, Drew Ogletree. Oh, Ogletree. Interesting. Was Jelani taken? Must have been taken. I can't say I know much about Ogletree. Is he a rookie? It looks that way. He doesn't have a picture. Good luck there. But yeah, I think the only thing I might have changed, but it's not like critical, Dev, was instead of Damian Pierce, because I think you have like really good top 4 running backs, and then Mostert is handcuffed to right. I feel like you could have cooled it at 5 if you really wanted to, but Pierce is not a terrible pick. I might have wanted another receiver. That's all. He's a vet and he doesn't have a picture. That's interesting. Has been getting most of the snaps. Sneaky indeed. Maybe my Jelani Woods investment will not work out. But good luck to you, man. Hope it works out. Musgrave, Parkinson, Ogletree. Some upside there. Stafford would have been dope on this team, but I think you got sniped for sure. And you took Caleb, stacked him up with DJ Moore. With Richardson, you don't need a third. So, yeah, that's the only, like, minor thing I might have changed is maybe an 8th receiver when Judy's your 5th. Little bit scary, but Tyreek, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson going to be in the lineup a ton. Not critical. Good team. But, yeah, that's it for me in this live stream. Yeah, I wish you got Stafford. It's okay. Not the end of the world, but Steven, I think you have to win up to round 3 playoff to win money, or round 2. You have to, yeah, make the later portion. When do the payouts start? I don't know. I mentioned at the top. It's already done. It's fine. But anyways, thank you, Dev. This was a good stream. I had a good time. Nice listening to you ramble. Good job caddying the show. Appreciate you, E. Thank you for joining the channel. And good luck at work, Dev. Have a good shift. I will see y'all tomorrow. There's a new video being posted in the morning ranking every single tight end in the NFL. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys later. And I'll probably live stream tomorrow as well. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.